Poker is pressure.
Can't get this pressure pouring out of my head.
And the pressure of the National Heads Up Poker Championship now focuses on the final 16.
Can't get this pressure pouring out of my head.
Phil Hellmuth rolls along with Huck Seed in fast pursuit.
I'm not going to try to get involved in his game, which is all that nonsense.
That might not be the best way to play me.
And they call me the Magician.
Antonio Esfandiari is on fire as he next plays cash game guru Ted Forrest.
Howard and Daniel and now me, that's murderer's row right there.
Can't get this pressure pouring out of my head.
That was a crazy game of poker. Crazy game of poker. I lost it all. But someday I'll be back again in a high. Never to fall, never to fall.
Welcome to the National Heads Up Poker Championship presented by Michelob Amber Bach at the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Our original field of 64 has been cut to 16, and as the field has dwindled, the pressure to win has certainly increased. There's Carlos Mortensen, the 2001 world champion, and that's TJ Cloutier, a tournament specialist who's won more tournaments than any other player. And there's Chris Jesus Ferguson. He beat Cloutier heads up to win the 2000 World Series. Matt Vasgersian here alongside Gabe Kaplan, and at our featured table, a classic poker matchup. Syracuse, New York native Ted Forrest, once nicknamed the businessman of poker because he backed so many people. And today he looks across at 25-year-old Antonio Esfandiari, better known as the Magician.
Incidentally, Matt, both these players are going to be auditioning for that new movie, The Matrix Flops a Flush.
Players in this round of 16 all start with 80,000 in chips. Ted Forrest looking in on an ace-3. He calls, and Antonio checks with a suited deuce tray. Flop left to right is 10 tray 8.
They both made a pair of threes here, which is pretty good in heads up. Of course, Ted has a much better kicker.
Antonio bets 900, and Ted calls. Turn card. It's the other three, the three of spades.
That is terrible for Antonio. The last three has come out there, made them both 3 threes, but Ted Forrest has the ace kicker. Antonio could lose a lot of money with this hand.
You can see the percentages there not adding up to 100. There's a 13% chance of a split pot. That would happen if a 10 or 8 came up, and Ted Forrest calls Antonio's bet, and the river card's a king of clubs.
Right now, Matt, it's just a question of how much Antonio is going to lose in this hand. He's positive he has the best hand, and he's trying to extract as much money from Ted as possible. He doesn't want Ted to go out. He thinks Ted probably has a 10.
And Antonio bets 8,500.
Now, the question is, how much is Ted Forrest going to raise? We know he's going to raise.
Raise.
Ted announces a raise, and now that's got to put Antonio totally off the scent.
Well, Antonio's confused, but in Antonio's mind now, I think he's going over the possibility of maybe Ted is bluffing.
12,000 more.
Up to just under 21,000 now.
Antonio is saying, what does this man have? Does he have a busted draw? Has he made kings and tens? Could he possibly have a 3 also? Was he slow playing a full house?
Nine jack.
He's hoping it's the busted straight.
And he calls. Well, we know exactly how much money he's going to lose on this hand now.
25,000, and he's fortunate, Matt. He could have lost more.
So the man who once bet that he could walk from L.A. to Vegas takes down a nice early pot, a big win for Ted Forrest. All right, so the round of 16 is underway, and Gabe, how do you size up our feature table, this match between Ted Forrest and Antonio Esfandiari?
Well, Antonio, in beating 2 of the heavyweights in poker, Daniel Negreanu and Howard Lederer, has established a mystique. He's the magician. He's got a physical presence. Plus, he's got the best-looking girlfriends. But one guy who's not going to be intimidated, one guy who is a complete study in poker concentration, is Ted Forrest. Ted is not going to be affected at all by any of this.
Intimidation may in fact come into play a little later on in the round in a match between Huck Seed and the always entertaining Phil Hellmuth.
Now, here's an interesting dynamic. Huck and Phil used to be the best of friends. They're not anymore. Now, if you remember in his 2 previous matches, when things didn't go Phil's way, he got a little nasty. I don't think he's going to get nasty against Huck. These guys have too much history together. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, one thing we've certainly learned regarding this heads-up format, and it's really applied the deeper we get into the tournament, is that there's been a surprise almost around every corner. Carlos Mortensen knows all about surprising people. He traveled from Madrid, Spain to win the 2001 World Series main event title. He's up against the CEO of the World Poker Tour, Lyle Berman. That's John Hennigan, the professional pool player turned poker pro. He's facing off against tournament specialist TJ Cloutier, who defeated stud specialist Nick Frangus in the first round and the mad genius of poker Mike Caro in the second. And there's Chris Ferguson. After knocking out Cindy Violette, he got past one of the tournament's wildest players, Gus Hansen. Today he goes head-to-head with the only female to make the round of 16, Mimi Tran. We'll follow these matches throughout the day, but now back to our featured table.
That's a lot of outs.
Antonio with a suited 9-6. And he calls. Suited 6-4 for Ted. He checks. Flop is 5-4 deuce.
Ted Forrest has made a pair of 4s, but they both have an inside straight draw.
And both players quickly check into the turn, which comes up king of spades.
Check.
Ted quickly checks, and Antonio bets out 1,200.
He's picked up a flush draw, and he still has the inside straight draw. Ted has the pair and the inside straight draw. He calls.
And the river, 3 of hearts. Both players make the straight.
There's going to be some action here. Ted's going to bet here. He hopes that Antonio has an ace and has made a lower straight.
Ted bets 2,100.
But Antonio has the same straight.
How much is it? 21.
So he's going to raise.
4,000 more back to Ted now.
Now the question is, how much is Ted going to raise? They both have the same straight.
I'm all in.
All in to just over 111,000 now.
Wow, Antonio doesn't know what to do. He's got the straight. Ted might also have the same straight. But what if Ted has the 6-7? Antonio will be out of the tournament.
All in, right?
Antonio throws it away, and Ted Forrest wins the pot.
Not calling in that hand is a big insight into how Antonio plays. I don't think a lot of players would have thrown that hand away.
Ted Forrest takes a 3-1 chip lead. Is the curtain about to close on the Magician?
Want to play online poker for free? With PlayPokerGo, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PlayPokerGo lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Welcome back to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. 16 players today trying to advance to the round of 8. And we'll have round of 8 action next Saturday here on NBC starting at 3:30 Eastern right before the Preakness Stakes. Over to one of our 3 outer tables, John Hennigan and TJ Cloutier have been fighting for control.
TJ is all in here, but he's got a big advantage. He's got a pair of 10s against John's pair of 9s.
Flop comes out deuce, deuce, ace.
John's going to need a 9, or he's going to double up TJ.
Turns a queen of spades.
TJ remembers when a 9 on the river knocked him out of the 2000 World Series. He said, not another 9.
No 9 on the river today, much to the joy of TJ's wife, Joy. TJ Cloutier doubles up to stick around.
And with that hand-eye coordination only a pool shark can have, John Hennigan pays off TJ.
Back to our featured table now. Antonio Esfandiari and Ted Forrest, where the blinds have increased to 1 and 2,000. Antonio with an offsuit ace-queen. And he raises to 6,100. And now Ted Forrest with nearly a 2-to-1 chip advantage, looking down at a suited ace-4.
I raise it.
Ted's going to raise here. If he can deliver a knockout punch, he wants to do it.
I'm all in.
And he moves all in.
Wow. This is a kind of tough call for Antonio. Puts him all in. He's got ace-queen. If Ted has any pair, Antonio is only even money. And if Ted does have a pair of aces, a pair of kings, or ace-king, Antonio's in very bad shape. Tough call.
Do you have a coin?
Antonio's asked for a coin.
I'm coinless.
And isn't that typical? No poker players have any cash with them.
I got a feeling Antonio has decided to call. Someone has come up with a coin, though, so he's probably going to have to flip it. There he goes.
It was tails.
He says it was tails. We didn't see it.
We didn't know what heads or tails meant.
I think they both meant that he was going to call here.
Which it appears he is going to call. So Antonio calls the bet, putting his tournament life on the line. He is covered here.
Shows his ace-queen. Ted turns over his 4. Does he have a pair of 4s? No, Antonio. He's got ace-4. You're in good shape. Just got to avoid 4s and clubs.
Flop comes queen, jack, 6. In better shape now is Antonio with a pair of queens.
Ted is dead to 2 clubs or 2 4s.
Turn is a 6 of spades.
And that'll do it. Antonio is doubled up.
River card is of no consequence. Jack of diamonds for posterity, and Antonio indeed gets a little healthier to stick around by doubling up. Now back to one of our outer tables where Lyle Berman on your left has a 2-to-1 chip advantage over Carlos Mortensen.
Lyle's gone all in with an ace-jack, and Carlos has called him with a pair of 8s. Lyle needs an ace or a jack.
And he gets the ace. Ace-king 9, all diamonds on the flop.
2001 world champion is in a world of trouble here, Matt.
My wife Cecilia certainly knows that.
Lyle knows it too.
Turns a king of spades.
Carlos Mortensen needs an 8 on the river to win.
Hall of Famer Lyle Berman can smell it. He's so close. River's a deuce of hearts, and that means Lyle Berman eliminates Carlos Mortensen. Lyle Berman is the first player to advance to the round of 8. More from the round of 16 as we continue from the Nugget right after this.
Looking for poker that's fun and free? Play PokerGO brings you authentic poker action. No bots, gimmicks, just players like you from all over the world. Jump straight into a ring game or test your skills at a tournament against real competition. With Play PokerGO, every hand feels like the real deal. Find Play PokerGO on web, iOS, and Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free. Play PokerGO.
And for more information on booking your trip to Las Vegas, log on to Expedia.com. Back inside the Nugget, one of our 3 outer tables where Mimi Tran is short-stacked and all-in against Chris Ferguson.
Mimi's got 35,000. She's got ace-7 against Chris's ace-jack. Everybody knows the drill by this time. Mimi's going to need a 7.
Flop is 6 king deuce.
No 7. She needs a 7 on one of the next 2 cards.
Turn is an 8 of hearts.
That 8 was a little close for Chris. Looked like a 7 when it first came out there.
River brings an 8 of clubs, and that means Mimi Tran is eliminated. Chris Ferguson advances to the round of 8.
Chris takes off his hat, bows to the ball guy, says, look how much hair I have.
Back to our featured table now, where Ted Forrest, by winning several smaller pots, has regained a slight chip lead over Antonio Esfandiari. Lines up to 1,500 and 3,000. Pocket queens for Antonio.
He's going to put in a nice raise here.
Up to 9,000. And pocket eights for Ted.
Ted could get in trouble with this hand. Pocket eights is a big hand in heads up, no limit hold'em. There's two ways to play it. He could put in a little re-raise here, a feel a re-raise, or he could wait to see what comes on the flop.
And he's chosen the latter. He's simply called. Flop comes 9-4-9.
This flop is going to commit Ted. There are no aces or picture cards. I can't see Ted getting away from it once Antonio bets.
Ted quickly checked.
Antonio's going to bet.
Antonio bets 12-5, and quickly Ted goes all in.
I call.
And just as quickly, Antonio calls.
And Ted quickly sees that this is just what he didn't want to happen. Antonio has a higher pair. Ted's going to need an 8, otherwise he's going to be very low in chips. Antonio gets up.
Turns an ace of diamonds.
Ted still needs an 8. Antonio does that little Persian no-8 dance.
And it works. The river's at 10 of clubs. Antonio takes down the pot and now takes a 4-1 chip advantage over Ted Forrest. We go to one of our outer tables now, and check this out, Gabe. The black eights didn't work for Forrest, and they show up here for TJ Cloutier, who's got John Hennigan all in. Hennigan is short stacked, down to just over 11,000 from the 80,000 stake.
He really had no choice but to go all in with this ace-6. And he's got a good flop here. He's flopped an open end straight. He could take the lead with a 3, an 8, or an ace.
Turns a 4 of clubs.
Well, now he can't win with that 8 anymore because that would make TJ a full house. He needs a 3 or an ace.
Wife Joy hopeful that the 3 or ace don't show. It is a deuce of clubs on the river, and TJ Cloutier eliminates John Hennigan and advances to the round of 8. So the former Cal Berkeley tight end puts the bear hug on his wife Joy and moves on in the tournament. Lindsey Zarniak is with the winner.
TJ Cloutier, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You know, so much talk over the past couple years has been on the youth movement in poker, and now as you veterans are kind of taking the stage moving into the final rounds, do you get any satisfaction out of that?
I get satisfaction in winning. I don't care who it's against, but the dinosaurs like Doyle and me and a few of the others, we're not quite dead yet.
I know that you have brought your wife to almost every tournament. How much comfort does she give you?
Oh, great. She doesn't know a thing about poker. I mean, not a thing. She doesn't know what hand beats what hand, and never has wanted to know. But she's my steady and rock. She has one question when I lose: why did I move all in?
And we take you back to our featured table, where Antonio Esfandiari has a chip advantage of nearly 4-1 over Ted Forrest. And Ted with a pair of 10s. Moving all in.
Come on, baby, one time.
And now, courtesy of the Amberbach pocket cam, we see Antonio's hand.
When he was saying one time, he was probably hoping for another 9. He didn't know that would be the worst thing that he could have.
On Queen 9.
How much is it?
Well, I can't believe that Antonio is thinking about calling here, because he would double up Ted and make this match almost even. All he has is Queen 9. But he's thinking, well, maybe Ted has a small pair, a pair of 5s, pair of 6s, pair of 7s, and then Antonio would be even money, and it's a chance to knock Ted out. In any event, Ted has become a little restless here, and he's just called the clock on Antonio. Antonio doesn't like it, but he has 1 minute to make up his mind.
All right, let's go.
And he will call.
Ted sort of forced Antonio's hand there. Antonio didn't like it, and the clock called on him, and he acted impulsively and called immediately.
Good luck, sir.
No hard feelings, though. He shakes hands with Ted.
Flop comes king, deuce, 5. No help for Antonio.
No queen.
Queen on the turn.
Wow. That is a dagger in the heart of Ted Forrest. Ted Forrest is out of this tournament unless he catches a 10. He kind of forced Antonio to call by calling the clock, and now he's dead to a 10.
Rivers a 5 of spades, and Antonio Esfandiari advances by eliminating Ted Forrest. What a hand.
And he said, here's your clock, baby, over here.
And Antonio will play the winner of our next featured match. That's between Phil Hellmuth, who's working the fans for the moment, and Huck Seed coming up next.
Huck Seed basically used to be my best friend.
Yeah, we used to be really close friends. We're not as close anymore.
I've kind of stuck more to the poker tournaments, and Huck's just kind of been living the Vegas lifestyle.
Want to play online poker for free? With PokerGO, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PokerGO lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PokerGO on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
It's been an exciting start to the round of 16. TJ Cloutier knocked out John Hennigan. Chris Jesus Ferguson eliminated the last female player, Mimi Tran. Lyle Berman caught an ace and finished off Carlos Mortensen. And the magician Antonio Esfandiari made Ted Forrest disappear. So 4 players have advanced, and now 4 more try to move on to the round of 8. Poker announcer Mike Sexton, who knocked out Eric Lindgren in the second round, today faces off against Hasan Habib, who made a remarkable comeback against Sami Farha. Barry Greenstein with his stiffest test so far. He plays John Juanda. David Sklansky, who has gotten past Phil Ivey and Johnny Chan, now squares off against Scott Fischman. And at our featured table, it's Phil Hellmuth taking on Huck Seed. And Gabe, as we look around the brackets, it seems like the older players have really pushed around Generation Next.
Well, we've had all this talk about Generation Next, but some of the poker seniors are getting it done today, Matt.
It's great to begin. It's great to play on the internet, but perhaps there's no substitute for a lot of live game action as we take you back to our featured table for a good game. And in fact, when Phil Hellmuth was a younger player, he really made a mark in the world of poker.
10 years ago, these two guys were Generation Next. Phil was the hot player who had won the World Series of Poker, and then Huck came along and won it about 6-7 years later.
Line starting at 3 and 600 as Huck looks down at suited 4-3 and calls for 300. Offsuit ace-4 for Phil, and he will check. And Hellmuth pairs his aces on the flop, ace-10-8.
And he checks. He's slow playing his aces.
Seed bets 1,100. Phil calls. Turns a deuce of diamonds, and Huck Seed makes his flush.
Yes, but Phil Hellmuth doesn't know that. Phil Hellmuth has aces and the nut flush draw. He has to bet something here just to see what's going on.
And he bets 2,000.
Now look at this acting job by Huck Seed.
Huck raises to 9,000.
How much? 9?
And Phil quickly calls.
Even if his aces are in trouble, he's got the nut flush draw.
River's a queen of clubs. Phil quickly checks.
Huck knows he has the best hand here. He's trying to figure out how much should I bet.
He bets 16,000.
That's about 2/3 of the pot. He wants Phil to call him, trying to represent that maybe he's bluffing. Phil's not going to go for this.
Well, you know, let me tell you something, Huck. Boy, if you outplayed me this early, I mean, well done, man. You know what I mean? I have the ace of diamonds. Can you beat that?
Phil's trying to get a little bit of read on his old buddy Huck. How's Huck going to react to that ace of diamonds?
No react at all from Huck Seed. Phil looks a little disappointed with that as he folds his hand. And now we take you over to one of our outer tables where Barry Greenstein is just getting underway in his match with John Juanda. Barry on the button with Queen 9 offsuit.
Remember, this is the hand that Antonio knocked Ted Forrest out of the tournament with. Barry raises.
Raises to 1,800. Now Juanda with suited connectors.
For sure, John's going to call here.
Why the hesitation?
Well, these are two great players. This is the first hand of their match. John Juanda doesn't want to lose control. Barry raised him. He might come back. There he goes.
And another 4,000 for Juanda.
He's thrown it right back in Barry's face. Barry's not going to take it. He puts in a big raise here. This is poker, Matt. This is not drawing out. This is playing the game. Barry Greenstein's establishing control here, and he's not going to give it up.
And Juanda folds.
Great read by Barry Greenstein.
And many more poker lessons to come. You can catch the round of 8 next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern here on NBC. Back to our featured table now. Huck Seed with pocket eights. And with blinds up to 6 and 1,200. Huck will call.
A little bit of a trap move here.
Ace-10 offsuit for Hellmuth, who raises up to 3,700. And Huck calls that.
He's keeping his eights a mystery. Doesn't want to let Phil know he has a pair.
Flop is Jack-8 Trey, and Huck has flopped a set. Phil quickly checks.
Now, Huck's been very aggressive. He's betting most every flop, so he's going to bet this flop, hoping that Phil has something. Please, Huck saying, have a jack, Phil.
Huck bets 7,000.
All right, there he goes. He's got Phil mumbling to himself.
Called every raise, run me over, and I haven't nailed him one frickin' time. Of course, I have the hand every time.
You don't know how lucky you are, Phil, that you didn't flop anything there.
Doesn't matter if he's bluffing or not. He's fired at every frickin' pot. How can he get away with playing all these hands? He's trying to be Stu Unger. It's a frickin' joke.
Who's he talking to?
Not one time. I mean, when you play like this, I'm supposed to nail him for $120,000, $30,000 pot. Maybe that was earlier.
The adventures of Phil Hellmuth continue as Huck Seed remains cool and focused.
My name's Huckleberry Seed. My dad's a writer, and he copied my name off of, Huckleberry Finn. That was his favorite writer, Mark Twain, and he always wanted to name his kid that. I haven't shown really any aggression so far. I'll certainly bully and run all over somebody if I think I can. He's a great player, and he's always had a big ego. Big egos do help you win tournaments, but deep down, he always had a little bit of insecurity.
Huck Seed doing a little amateur psychiatry there, analyzing his old buddy, Phil Hellmuth.
And his old buddy checking in on 9-5 offsuit as the blinds have increased to 6 and 1,200. And Huck Seed with pocket tens. He raises to 3,700.
Wow, Phil must still be a little bit on tilt here. He usually doesn't play junk hands like this. 9-5 offsuit.
Flop comes 7-Jack-7. Seed checks. And now Phil bets out 2,000.
Trying to win the pot right here, taking a little stab at it.
And Huck calls.
That should tell Phil that Huck has something.
Turns a 9 of hearts. Phil's made a pair. Huck checks, and Phil bets 4,000.
He's trying to see if his nines are the best hand.
Huck calls.
Phil can't be too secure about this.
River's a 3 of spades. Huck quickly checks. And Phil bets 3,000.
I don't know why he bet such a small amount or why he bet at all.
Huck called, of course, and takes down the pot.
It was a very foolish bet on Phil's part.
This is such a freaking joke.
And the Hellmuth act is on.
This is so cold-blooded.
That invisible guy is back in town, and Phil's talking to him.
15 pots more than I did. Bet out all those flops. Finally, I hit a 9. He's got frickin' 10s. The only hand I'm worried about in the whole frickin' joint. I mean, how does he get away with this?
Man, that guy takes a lot of abuse.
Now I'm taking flops with him. He's not going to get away with running me over. Raise it. I know he doesn't have jack speed. He's got to have frickin' 10s is the only hand he can beat me with.
You're lucky I didn't raise you 20,000, Phil. You probably would have called it.
You raised me 20,000 with a jack on board? You
Done
probably
it.
won't win this match.
I knew I had you beat. How about that? I should have raised you. Why wouldn't I?
More lessons on poker decorum with Phil Hellmuth as we continue right after this.
Looking for poker that's fun and free? PlayPokerGo brings you authentic poker action. No bots, gimmicks, just players like you from all over the world. Jump straight into a ring game or test your skills in a tournament against real competition. With PlayPokerGo, every hand feels like the real deal. Find PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free. PlayPokerGo.
Welcome back to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. At our 3 outer tables, the voice of the World Poker Tour, Mike Sexton, has a big lead over Hasan Habib. But we've seen Habib mount big comebacks before. Back in the round of 32, he was just about done and came all the way back to defeat Sami Farha.
Matt, what seems like an insurmountable lead in heads up really never is, because a couple of double ups and you're right back in the game.
And as we get you to Sexton versus Habib, Hasan Habib is standing. He's concerned because he's raised all in, and Mike Sexton with a 2-to-1 chip advantage has called.
Mike Sexton has made a great call here. Hasan Habib is raised up to 62,000, and Mike Sexton called with ace high. Great call.
Flop comes jack, deuce, ace. Mike Sexton pairs his aces.
Right, and now Hasan Habib is in terrible shape. He's going to need 2 running cards to win this pot.
Turn is a queen of clubs.
Well, that's one of them. Now Hasan Habib can win with a 10. A 10 would make him a straight.
But the river brings a king of spades. Mike Sexton advances. No big comeback story for Hasan Habib this time, as Mike Sexton advances to the round of 8. Brother Tom sharing in the celebration. Lindsay's with the winner.
Mike Sexton, congratulations. With all your success, it starts to feel like maybe you're auditioning for a hosting job with NBC. What do you think?
No, I'm ecstatic right now. It was a very, very tough match I just played against Hasan. Really was a dogfight. You know, he had me way down. I came back and won the match, but it was tough, boy, I'll tell you.
In all seriousness, though, do you think that your announcing helps you because you're able to see the whole cards with any of the experiences that you have doing that job?
I really do think being able to watch every hand on the World Poker Tour like I've seen for the last 3 years has helped me become a better player, no question about it.
In what ways?
Well, in that I see what players are doing, and I know what the great players do to win these pots, and you know, I've learned to become more aggressive myself by watching these great players, and it's helped me a lot. I'm now a better player than I was, even though I don't get to play much. That's why this is such a treat for me to be here.
Well, he sure has played great, Matt. Maybe I should watch what's going on here.
Back to the featured table now, and when you see Phil Hellmuth, that's when a poker match becomes a personal battle.
I faced Min the Master to win, who has 6 world championships in the first round, and beat him. And then I beat Paul Phillips in the second round, and they both played really well. I think he's going to come out fast playing a lot of hands. That might not be the best way to play me. I keep thinking that everyone's going to try to play fast against me and run me over. I'll just sit back and let them do all the betting and raising.
I think that's a good plan, Matt. Sit back, wait, let them do the betting and raising, and talk to the invisible man in the corner.
Blinds at 1,500 and 3,000, and Phil calls with his deuces. Huck checks with offsuit jack Trey, And look at this huge flop. Deuce, Jack, 3.
This match could be over right here, Matt. Phil has flopped a set of deuces, and Huck has top 2 pair. This could be it.
Huck checked. Hellmuth bets 3,000. And now Seed has raised to 14,000.
Now, Phil does not know that Huck has top 2 pair. Phil is thinking, well, maybe he has a flush draw. Maybe I should wait one card. Make sure a spade doesn't come off. What does this man have? Could he have 4-5? I got to tell you, Matt, that most players in Phil's situation would go all in right now.
Hellmuth calls.
He is playing conservative.
Turn is a king of spades.
Now, Huck would have made a flush if he did have 2 spades.
Huck checks. Hellmuth checks.
Phil's afraid of the flush.
River's a 7 of spades. Hellmuth makes a flush.
Yeah, but Huck could win the pot if he bet here.
Check.
He checks. Hellmuth checks.
2 pair.
And Phil will win the pot.
God dang!
Oh, spade killed it.
I had him broke.
You had me broke for sure. If the spade doesn't come on the turn.
Spade didn't come on the turn, it's over.
Phil's conservative play backfired here. He won the pot, but he could have won the match.
More from our featured table when we return to the Nugget right after this.
Want to play online poker for free? With PlayPokerGo, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PlayPokerGo lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Welcome back to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. We're watching round 16 action at the National Heads Up Poker Championship. And for more information on the tournament, the players, and television schedule, log on to headsuppokerchamp.com. We take you to one of our outer tables now where John Juanda has Barry Greenstein in big trouble.
Yeah, Barry's all in for $25,200. Barry's got aces and 4s, but John Juanda's got aces and kings. Barry's going to need a 4 on the river, otherwise he's going to be eliminated.
River brings a 3 of clubs. John Juanda advances from this match to the round of 8.
Barry started out with a brilliant play, but hit a dry spell after that.
Back to the featured table now, where Huck Seed has a slight lead over Phil Hellmuth. And Gabe, this match has been going on for some time. The blinds all the way up to 6 and 12,000.
Considering that they started out with 80,000 each, that's very big.
I'm all in.
And Huck moves all in on Queen 8.
Not a bad play. He's trying to pick up that 18,000 in the pot.
Amberbach Pocket Cam reveals a strong hand for Phil Hellmuth, ace 10, and he quickly calls.
And Huck got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Huck's been doing a lot of this, and this time he got caught.
Now, believe it or not, this is the first time not only in the match, but in the entire tournament that Phil Hellmuth has gone all in covered, meaning his tournament life is on the line for the first time right here.
If Huck Seed can catch a queen or an 8 without Phil catching an ace or a 10.
Maybe you're right, yeah, it might be.
Flop comes 3-7-5.
No help to Huck. He needs an 8 or a queen.
No help to Huck on the turn, a 2 of spades.
Can you imagine how Phil would erupt if a queen or an 8 came out on this last card? Let's see.
River's a 4 of hearts. Phil Hellmuth makes a straight, avoids elimination, and in doing so severely cripples Huck Seed, who's down to 12,000 and change.
The large blinds have forced Huck's hand, and he got hurt.
To an outer table now where David Sklansky on your left, trailing Scott Fischman, has moved all in. Fischman has called.
Scott Fischman has a pair of 7s. David Sklansky has an ace 10, but he's up against a pair. He needs to catch an ace or a 10, maybe even make a straight like Phil Hellmuth did. He's going to need a little help.
Scott Fischman's sister Beth and the rest of his cheering section all geared up in the fish tank attire. Flop comes 10-8 Jack, a pair of 10s for Sklansky.
That's what David Sklansky needed. Now Scott Fischman is in a world of trouble. You see it, 71 to 26. He needs a 7 to make a set of 7s, or a 9 would make him a straight.
Turn card. It's a 9. Boom! Fish Tank loves it.
Now David Sklansky cannot win this pot. He can tie with a queen or a 7.
5 of clubs comes on the river. It's a happy Fish Tank as Scott Fischman advances to the round of 8.
David Sklansky beat Phil Ivey and Johnny Chan, but now he sleeps with the fishes.
Lindsay's with the winner.
Congratulations to Scott Fischman. You have made quite a splash in the Fish Tank there, haven't you? You got your whole fan club here with you. How do you feel?
I'm excited. This is a great tournament, and I'm happy to make it through to the final 8.
You guys have one of the louder entourages here, I have to say. Did that help you out?
Yeah, I love my family. They're great for support, and it helps me with some positive energy and everything like that. I love them. Love them when they're here.
Well, when you print hats and T-shirts, you better get to the round of 8. Scott Fischman advances.
Looking for poker that's fun and free? Play PokerGO brings you authentic poker action. No bots, gimmicks, just players like you from all over the world. Jump straight into a ring game or test your skills at a tournament against real competition. With Play PokerGO, every hand feels like the real deal. Find Play PokerGO on web, iOS, and Android. Join the fun. Sign up for free. Play PokerGO.
Welcome back to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Only one match left in the round of 16. Huck Seed and Phil Hellmuth at our featured table in what has been the longest match of the tournament thus far. Last time we looked in on this match, Huck had a big disadvantage. He was down to 12,000 in chips. He's made a modest comeback, but still trails, and he's gone all in here on his Jack-8 offsuit. Phil Hellmuth has quickly called.
I think I won a World Series event with King 10.
Phil is a big favorite to end this match right here, about 2 to 1.
Oh, you got, look at that. Both of my suits covered, too.
What Huck is saying is if 4 clubs came out of 4 spades, Phil would still win because he has the higher club and the higher spade.
And Huck catches one of the few cards in the deck that'll help him. He pairs jacks.
Queen of spades.
Now what he's got to avoid is a king, which would make Phil a pair of kings, or a queen, which would make Phil a straight.
Turn is a 4 of hearts.
Phil is going to need a king or a queen to eliminate Huck. Otherwise, Huck is right back in the match.
Ace of clubs on the river. Huck wins the hand. He doubles up. He's close to his original stake now, and this long match gets even longer.
This is a match that never ends.
Several of the previously eliminated players are now trickling back in to watch the end of this marathon, including Doyle Brunson, who was knocked out in his first-round matchup. Blinds up to 8 and 16,000 now, the highest they've been in the tournament. And pocket jacks for Huck Seed. He moves all in.
Look at the smooth acting of Huck Seed here. He does it with the same nonchalance as when he moved all in with nothing.
Call.
And he's got Phil Hellmuth to call him with a king 6 offsuit. Huck Seed is a big favorite to take a big lead in this match. Phil Hellmuth made a bad read, and you can see it on his face.
Well, the players and the fans aware that this match could turn now. In contrast, a very satisfied look on Huck's face.
Phil Hellmuth needs a king.
Flop is deuce 4 tray.
Huck Seed is about to totally turn the tables in this match. He has to avoid a king or a 5, which would make Phil a straight.
Look at Phil Hellmuth. He is about to swallow himself whole. King!
Unbelievable.
From the pit to the pinnacle with one turn card. And now it's Huck Seed who needs to catch a card. He needs a jack.
Poker can be cruel, Matt. This match is over if Huck does not catch that jack.
River's a 10 of hearts. And Phil Hellmuth finally ends what has been the longest match of the tournament. With kings, he gets himself into the round of 8.
This was a great poker match between two former world champions. It went into quadruple overtime. Phil Hellmuth, always the gracious winner.
Lindsay's with the winner.
Phil, congratulations. You had him on the ropes. He started to come back. Were you getting nervous?
Oh my God. I lost all these coin flips where I was a favorite, but I never lost patience. I know that I'm incredibly blessed and I just have to play hard.
Is it time now to call yourself a favorite?
I will not call myself a favorite. No. I'm just going to have to play hard each match. I just have to be ready to play great poker, and that's it.
This is a new, humble Phil Hellmuth, isn't it?
Look, if I get too egotistical and start thinking I deserve to win, then I'm in trouble. And sometimes I have to fight my ego.
Who's the best player in this tournament?
Who's the best player in this tournament? No comment.
Thank you, Phil. Good luck.
Time for our All In Magazine play of the day. It came from our earlier featured table when Antonio Esfandiari went all in and caught a queen to eliminate Ted Forrest.
Ted Forrest asked for the clock. Antonio called out of anger, and it worked. He knocked Ted Forrest out.
Down to 8 players. Our Hearts bracket finale features Lyle Berman and Phil Hellmuth. In the Diamonds bracket, Antonio Esfandiari takes on Scott Fischman. Over in the Clubs bracket, John Juanda battles TJ Cloutier. And finally in the Spades, Chris Ferguson duels Mike Sexton. Down to 8 players, Gabe. Who do you like?
Tough, but I'm going to go with John Juanda. I think he's got just the right speed to win this tournament.
A special thanks to OAR for their theme song, That Was a Crazy Game of Poker. And we'll see more great poker next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern with the round of 8. For Lindsay Zarniak and Gabe Kaplan, this is Matt Vasgersian saying so long from the National Heads Up Poker Championship. Stay tuned for AFL action as New York takes on Tampa Bay. Coming up next, right here on NBC.